Hey guys, Greg here, Bone Tactical. Today we are rebuilding the Land Cruiser. We're completely redoing it. We're going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing. You guys may have seen some of the stuff that we've done in the past with the Land Cruiser, but I'm stripping it all down, starting from zero and redoing it. Why? Because I love doing this stuff, number one, and also because I didn't take the time to go through step by step and really do high quality videos on the last time I built this truck, and it just didn't do it justice. This is a 2017 Land Cruiser. It's got about 20,000 kilometers on it. I use it here when I'm in Latin America often, and it's really just super tricked out. We've got it stripped down to the base right now. We're redoing everything down to the wires, down to everything. Today we'll talk about a suspension system that I designed specifically for Toyota Land Cruiser. All of the electronics and wiring. We'll talk about some of the accessories that are put in here, and we're going to take you week by week, step by step, so follow along. Come in here and check out what we've got going on. We've got a dual battery system to start off, okay? So the dual battery system, basically what that means is a lot of big diesel trucks come with two batteries. This one does not. We've added the extra battery, but we've got a battery separator right here. And what that does is it keeps the system together when the on switch is on. When the ignition switch is on, both batteries are running together. When the ignition switch is off, then it keeps this battery separate, and only the yellow top extra battery that we're using, the deep cycle battery, for only accessories. So that means that this battery is always ready to start the car. It never dies. And then the other battery, any kind of accessories that I'm running, my compressor, my winches, anything that I want to run, as far as anything I've added after, which you'll see is a bunch of aftermarket stuff, it's all running off of that battery. So let's go over here and take a look. I've got the horn. All right, got a train horn on here. We've got the air compressor to run the train horn that's built into the sidewall. That's a Viair. Big shout out to Viair for sponsoring this build. This compressor is awesome. We have had the pleasure now of using it for a while, and it's the only compressor that I've never had a problem with. Absolutely amazing compressor, and we really ran it a quite interesting way. It's got the air intake on the inside of the cabin. This is actually the air intake for the compressor, so we've got this run into the cab, so the compressor will never bring in dirty or wet air unless the entire cab of the vehicle is submerged in water, which the idea is that hopefully that's never going to happen. We've got snorkels on everything and breathers on everything. This is diff breathers and transmission breather right here, okay? So a lot of you guys know that you got breathers on your transmissions and your differentials. So what this does is it will allow water not to get sucked into there on a hot day when you go in and do a river crossing or something like that. We're currently rewiring the whole system, so the electrical is in the state of being done right now. I'm going to show you in another video, maybe the next video. If you want to see the electrical and some tips on electrical, comment below and let me know. But that's what we're going to probably show in the next video. Come on along here and let me show you a little bit of what we've got going on inside the cabin, and then I've got a big surprise for you that's behind the back seat. What we've got going on in here is pretty much everything's pretty much stock. We've kept a lot of the original stuff. One of the reasons I like that is because I'm able to change the Pioneer system, for example, but it works. It's hardcore. I love the hardcore stuff. I love the old school retro controls. I really don't want to change more than I have to. So one thing that I did change was I added this little detail here. I added the skull on the shift knob. That's just something a little cool and a little extra. Other than that, everything's pretty much original up front here. I do have a switch over here for the horn. So there you have the horn switch, basically, for the train horn. Aside from that, obviously one of the most important things is having the bone opener or bone breaker on your key ring. Always got one of those. Let's continue on and see what awesome surprise we have behind the back seat as far as anybody that wants to run electrical in an Overland Expedition vehicle. This is kind of the ideal setup that we're going for, and we're in the perfect place to show you kind of how we're starting what we're doing. Let's check it out. Pretty awesome electrical system in the works here, and all kinds of awesome accessories. To start off, I've took marine grade plywood. I have put some of your standard automotive carpet over it, indoor, outdoor, marine grade as well, automotive marine carpet. So we're going with the theme of everything being waterproof here. Marine grade carpet and plywood. Zikaflex is connected with Zikaflex because I don't want to put any holes in the cab of the truck. From there, we've got all kinds of cool accessories. We've got the power that's running straight off of the accessory battery and coming into this fuse block, right? I will do a video if you guys want, specifically about electrical and talking about the electrical system. It's in the works here. It's not terminated. We're just kind of getting the layout down and figuring everything out, and then we're going to get it 100% perfect. But we do have the power distribution block here running amplifier, charger, DC AC inverter, and some fun party lights basically that work with the music and everything like that. From there, we're going to continue adding. I'm going to add a distribution block for the ground distribution block, and then I'm going to continue adding another amplifier and a big awesome audio system, because one downside of the Toyota Land Cruiser is that it does not come with much of an audio system. It comes with a the speakers, as far as the speakers go and stuff like that, are a little bit underpowered. Talking very briefly about the Toyota Land Cruiser and why we chose a Toyota Land Cruiser. It is, in my opinion, the most capable Overland Expedition vehicle, and debatably the most capable, reliable off-road vehicle. You can kind of say that the Jeep Rubicon will do a better job from factory off-road, but you've got a lot of reliability issues with the Jeep Rubicon that you don't have with the Toyota Land Cruiser. They're very similar. The Toyota Land Cruiser is built more for reliability and more for work, more for carrying heavy loads, but that's why it makes night and day a million times better Overland Expedition vehicle than the Jeep. The Jeep does give you a better base point and a cheaper way to build an off-road machine, but the Jeep is something that you're going to want to understand that it's more likely to break down. So we've got the Toyota that some key things to look for in your Overland Expedition build are locking differential front and rear, solid axles front and rear, low gear range. All this stuff comes factory with a Toyota that comes with almost no other vehicle on the market. So really just an amazing starting point. Heavy duty suspension system, even though we've redesigned the suspension system to add a little bit more flex, a little bit more height. And then the really Achilles heel of the Toyota Land Cruiser, like we talked about, is that rear shock hanging off. The shock mount's kind of hanging below, but we've gone ahead and fixed and changed all that. All right, so back here we've got the system of suspension that I designed, which we'll talk about in a second. But we've got the air tank for the Viair. Again, thanks to Viair. Shout out to those guys. Awesome compressor system. Here we have a U-bolt flip system that I designed. Basically what this means is that this top plate and the bottom plate there are completely swapped. These U-bolts are from a semi-truck, much stronger than the original Toyota ones. These 1-inch plates obviously are much stronger than the entire Toyota suspension system to begin with. From there, this normally on a Toyota Land Cruiser is hanging below and gets caught on everything off-road. So we've completely switched this around. We've added a leaf spring pack that's higher and lifted, and then this right here that we've added is a shackle system to go up a little higher. Now we're at the perfect height. So we've also lifted the body a little bit, and the reason we've lifted the body, you can see there's a polyurethane bushing right there, and the reason that we've lifted the body is so that we didn't have to change the suspension too much. You guys understand when you raise the center of gravity of a vehicle, you've got to, if you go higher, you've got to go wider. We have gone wider wheels. Shout out to Method Racing. We're working with those guys as a sponsor as well. We've gone with wider wheels from Method Racing, so it gives us stability, and that's why we've also split the difference between halfway a suspension kit that we built and then the other half of a body lift. So rear bumper here, we've got a rear winch bumper that we've also built. Come around the back here and you can see that it's we've got high lift jack points, we've got the shackles, we've got the winch, rear winch bumper, and an accessory for a trailer hitch. What's important is that this is very high, so we keep our departure angle, all right? And what I would like to show you guys is on this suspension system here, everything's flush, okay? So what happens when we're off-road and we get in a hole, we can slide basically those suspension system that I built is like almost like a slider system. You just slide out of the hole and then it comes straight back and the bumper doesn't get any lower than the chassis. It's all very important stuff. The fenders that we've built are very solid. I can stand on these, I can jump on these. They work kind of like rock sliders. They keep everything off the bed. Very solid, amazing fenders. We've got rock sliders here on the bottom as well. So the front bumper, obviously, guys, we've also built. We've got wired into the same system. These are some heavy duty spotlights that we've ran into where the fog lights would be. Really, really heavy duty tube bumper. The winch is a factory Toyota winch. I really enjoy using nylon accessories because they don't bang around on the bumper. And the nylon accessories to me are just a lot better for weight reduction and everything like that. High Lift jack, shout out to High Lift. High Lift is a sponsor of this build. Thanks High Lift for sponsoring us and sending us this jack. High lifts are absolutely essential. High Lift jack is absolutely essential. Again, you guys have seen or will see that we've built High Lift jack points all around the vehicle because it's important that you build something that the jack can fit into. From there, if it's a big, heavy off-road vehicle or very lifted like ours is, big 35-inch tires, what you've got is a system basically that doesn't work with the original factory jack that came with the vehicle. From there, we'll get into talking about jack plates and all that kind of stuff in the future, but just for now, know that this is essential for any build. Your jack is essential for just about any build. You want winches, you want jacks, that's all good stuff. You can actually use the jack in place of the winch in an emergency or if you're on a real budget build, but we're going all out with this thing. Questions and comments, let me know what you want to see more of. If we've touched on something in this video that we just briefly touched on and you guys want to see more of it, let me know that as well because I really want to know what you guys want to see more of, okay? So I want to cater this series to you. What I'm going to try and do is work on this truck a little bit every week. All right, and get a new video up, maybe not a new video up every week, but bi-weekly or at least once a month, depending on your feedback. So if you really want to see this awesome build, and what we're going for is the most capable Overland Expedition vehicle in the world. So we don't have small goals, we've got some big goals for this build, and I really think that we're going to be able to meet those goals. We've got the means, the capabilities, we're doing all the work ourselves. And I'm doing all the work myself, and I'm going to take you along the way for the ride. Thanks for watching. Bone out.